stream. Good morning and welcome, my friends, to this Sunday morning edition of the Kindness Project podcast. Yes. I am joined by a girl who is getting really good at getting this organised. I didn't do anything this morning. It's Charlotte Dames.
And I'm joined by a man who, I was going to say, has made me do all the work again, but then I realised I've said that for the past 2 podcasts in a row. This is a continuing trend.
It's all right. I'm liking it.
And we don't have a guest today. So.
No, all good. So it's my name is Chris Dames. You tapered off at the end there when you took your phone. I'm taking this phone away, and I don't want you to
make sure to wave at people.
Whatever. If I don't wave at you, it's a big deal. First subject of the Sunday morning podcast. I've just found this. What is it? It's got a hole in, but I just genuinely can't work out what it does. Can you?
No, it's got a hole in. You can look through it.
Well, it's not a pair of binoculars, is it? So, first unofficial question of the podcast. I've randomly found this in my house. It's got a hole in like that.
Do you know what it is?
Do you know what it is?
What is it?
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is?
It's an attachment of the stairgate.
Oh. We know what it is. Don't worry about calling in. And on that note,
we don't have a phone line.
We should have a phone line, shouldn't we? Oh, can we just mention that we've got some brand new flashy intro titles?
Yes, I will be coming
on Wednesday. So look forward to that. This week's question of the podcast, or today's question of the podcast, is. What's your favourite summertime song? Where can people find out?
Okay, so if you are currently watching this, you're either on the watch party, which will be really easy to direct to our page from, or you're on the page, which, thanks guys, Dad.
Oh, sorry.
If not, you can just search the Kindness Project podcast in the top bar at the top of Facebook. You know, the one next to the little logo, it says search. I'm currently looking at it because it's on our live producer. Top quality. Anyway...
Top quality button. Top quality web button. Don't take much to impress you, does it? Let's be honest. Top quality website. Right, come on.
It's a top quality attachment right there. On Twitter, we're at All of Kindness, and I think it's the same for Instagram. And we have a website, and if you just put the Kindness Project in the Google search bar, that's another top quality website.
Top quality website.
Top quality search engine. Then we just come up at the top, and we have an email, Ola at thekindnessproject.co.uk, and I think I have just done that.
Yeah, and you can find all of our previous episodes and all that sort of good stuff on the website. You can subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or whatever it's called now. Is it called Apple Podcasts, or is it still called iTunes?
I think it's still called iTunes, but...
Top quality podcast hosting service.
Top quality podcast hosting. But there's a separate app for podcasts, and it's just called Podcasts.
Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. So you can find us all over the show on your podcast app of choice. We are on there, and we've started posting these live shows on the YouTube channel as well, which, to be honest, isn't as popular as I expected it to be, but it'll get there. It'll get there, whatever.
You know what I think? Podcasts are making a bit of a resurgence during lockdown.
Well, you know what?
Especially because people can't go out and they can't make TV, it's so much easier to kind of communicate via...
Clearly it's easy to make a podcast, because if you and I can do it, it just proves the point.
We don't do that much of the work though, do we?
What do you mean?
Oh, we have an editor for that, don't we?
We have our esteemed producer. Thank you, Russell. We appreciate
you greatly, and we wouldn't be able to do this without you. So thanks.
I mean, let's be honest. You are the podcast, aren't you? We're just the mouthpiece and face of the show. So, what have we got on the show today? Because I don't know.
TOC, topics of conversation.
TOC. right. Firstly, we've worked out what that is, so that's gone. That's not.
So I have some questions written down. So TV guilty pleasures. What TV show do you watch and you kind of think?
Right at the minute, as you know, I am a sucker for a Netflix documentary. Right, so. Netflix put a new documentary up, and it could be about food or crime or money or whatever. As soon as Netflix put a documentary up, I am there. I'm in. So the latest one on Netflix was about TV trials. It was really interesting because they were talking to people about how in America the media is actually part of the legal system because you get trial by media. So that was really good. I am starting my Game of Thrones rewatch. So I've never seen the last episode of Game of Thrones, and I've got up to end of season 5 or end of season 4, stopped, and I said I wouldn't watch the last series until I'd start again. So I've just started again. And my other one at the minute is Grace and Perry's Art Club, which I absolutely love. So that's my one. So how about you?
I have just been going back and watching all the shows that I used to watch when I was like 10 to 12, all the shows I used to watch back then because they made me happy back then. Why can't they make me happy now? And I was like,
what shows are you including?
Like all the ones that used to be on Disney Channel. Like I think I watched a couple of episodes of like Austin and Ally, which was terribly cheesy. But me and Soph did sit down and watch Bizaardvark, which was great. Never not loved Bizaardvark.
Excuse me. Quick question. Are you ever disappointed when you go back and watch shows?
All the time. All the time.
I watched an episode of Trapdoor from when I was a kid. Stay away from that trapdoor. And even though the theme tune still holds up, the show, well, you know what does still hold up though? Funhouse. I'd watch Funhouse all day long. All day long. What's your next topic?
Okay, I have a question. How are we spending our time during lockdown? Because I know we talk a lot about like randomly, but we haven't really talked in depth about what we're doing during lockdown. Yep. So you start, and then I'll follow afterwards.
Cool.
Because I asked.
So I'm still working. So
yep.
Business as usual for me. So working every day, seeing my clients, and a lot of Zoom calls, and a lot of meetings. So all good. I'm writing the Kindness Project book. So I'm spending my time doing that. I'm exercising, so I'm going out for a run, a decent amount, and still training. And I've taken up some pretty poor art. So that's been my lockdown. I can't think of anything else I've been doing in particular.
Is one phrase to describe it. Yeah.
How would you describe it?
Shambolic.
Well, you know what? I've got a stylus for my laptop now, so I might give a digital art a go.
Oh, I like digital art.
Yeah.
We have comments.
Okay, cool. So what are you doing in lockdown?
I am studying, trying to get through some stuff for college. But it's a bit because I haven't actually been to college.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
You're getting the work without the experience.
Yeah. It's a bit like, here's the work. Yeah. There's no help. It's just do it. Just Google it. It's fine. I am writing.
But this is the weird thing, right? The nature of education has changed because, like, when I went to college, I wouldn't have had the benefit of just somebody just going, "Here's all the work, mate." I had to turn up. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm writing. I'm trying to get through like it's a laborious task. But,
we've got to get through this.
I'm trying to write a book. I know you've got a dystopia on the back burner.
Yeah, I'm going to do the Kindness Project book first.
Yeah, that's why it's on the back burner.
Yeah. The back burner.
I've got I
found this
sci-fi futuristic.
What's that phrase that you like that you just mentioned earlier about websites? Is it brilliant new website or what? What did you say?
I don't remember. We'll have to play it back.
Listen, I tell you what, we are like Dory out of Nemo, like trying to get our attention. No, we have to play it back. Anyway, next question.
Okay, this is going to be really random because I was trying to think of like something that would cause a bit of like debate.
Go on then.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Definitely not. There's only one answer to that. Definitely not a sandwich.
It's meat and bread.
No, right. This is where you go with that. Unless the bread is flat and there's a flattish filling, it's not a sandwich. Like, come on, would you call a burger a sandwich? It's got its own separate name. You wouldn't even call a baguette a sandwich, would you?
Okay, but you don't call a toasty a sandwich. It's got flat meat in it and it's flat.
Yeah, but this is the problem, right? This is the problem. Okay, we've had this with Jaffa cakes before.
I know, it's everywhere.
This is the Groundhog Day on Jaffa cakes. Listeners and viewers, is a hot dog a sandwich? And if you answer anything but no, you're wrong. I mean, just clear.
I don't think it's a sandwich, but I thought I'd play devil's advocate, you know.
Go on then, give me your argument for a hot dog being a sandwich.
Well, because it's meat in bread.
It's meat in bread, so it's a burger. Go on then.
Yeah, I didn't have that much of an argument.
Yeah, that debate fell down quite quickly, didn't it? Is a hot dog a sandwich? Clearly no. Okay, no worries. But it is meat in bread. Still no. Okay, fine. I just don't know what is going on with the world when you try and pretend a hot dog is a sandwich. Hi to Trev, hi dude. Hi to Tracy. Morning to Desmond, morning to Steve, and morning to Greg. Hope you're having a lovely Sunday morning. But let's go back to our official question of the podcast, because we asked those questions, but we still haven't answered that particular one. What is the best summertime song?
Don't know.
What's your favourite summertime song?
I listen to the same songs year round, so it's like it's not really about seasons for me. It's just music.
But there are certain songs when you're sitting on the beach or sitting in the garden and the sun's shining that just, you know, my one, Three Little Birds by Marley. That is an amazing song. No,
it's a good song, but like. It's one of those songs that you get sick of real quick.
Right, okay, go on, give me your what song would you listen to on the beach or on, like, in the garden when the sun's shining?
Ain't No Rest for the Wicked.
Ain't No Rest for the Wicked. That is an amazing song. I don't know how summer it is. So please send in your answers. Best summertime song. We'd love to hear them. And because the weather is getting a bit better now, isn't it?
It just got colder yesterday. Despite
still being in lockdown, lockdown light, whatever we are now at the minute.
Light.
I don't know how to describe it. But seeing as we're in semi-lockdown, is that what you call it? We are getting out of the garden.
We're slowly unsubscribing from the lockdown package.
Yeah, I've just.
We're losing some premium stuff. Yeah, I'm just bit by bit.
I've phoned lockdown and said, look, I don't need the movie channels lockdown. I don't need the sports. You know, let's just stop this lockdown stuff.
And then eventually we'll just unsubscribe from lockdown completely.
Yeah, eventually. Eventually. Unsubscribing from lockdown. I like the phrase. Moving on. What's our next thing? Oh, we've got Dave Forsdyke, Silver Linings. Dave's got a few for us. So Dave says he's not mentioned music in Silver Linings for a while. A lot of Dave's Silver Linings are about music.
Well, the last ones we read not about musicals.
I think they might have been. Alice Cooper has recorded and released a song for lockdown. It's a bit dreary in his opinion, but he admires the effort, and that you can find that on YouTube. My favourite drummer, Mike Portnoy, has recorded a classy cover of "I Want to Stay Home" with his daughter Melody. Roger Joseph Manning Jr. and Jason Faulkner.
Thin Lizzy's "Bad Reputation" by
Machine Head guitarist Phil DeMille.
Judas Priest guitarist Richie Faulkner. Alice in Chains bassist Mike Inez. Sacred Reich drummer Dave McLean, and on vocals Thin Lizzy Hale.
You can find it on YouTube as well. Yes, we'll put a link on the show notes. For today's Silver Linings, Dave's gone for fitness, and he shared some data from Fitbit, which says that most of us in lockdown are sleeping better and getting fitter because of the changes we made. Now, the challenge you've got with that is people who wear Fitbits are probably more conscious of their health and sleep than most people. But certainly, I've found I don't know if my sleep's been better in lockdown, but certainly finding time for fitness is something I've done. Not needing to rise a bit earlier for a long commute every day has meant Dave's sleeping better, and it seems I'm not alone in improving sleep, as Fitbit data from 6 large cities in the US shows a similar pattern. I think one of the interesting things as we come out of lockdown is going to be, do we choose to spend our time differently? I don't think we're going to stop going out and meeting people, but do we choose to spend our time?
Why would you stop going out and meeting people when you're finally allowed to stop going out and meeting people?
Well, I mean, like, if you take Dave's example, if you're spending 3 hours on a commute into London every day, are you going to want to be doing that every day? Don't know. And at the start of lockdown, Dave started every morning, apart from weekends, because he's keeping weekends spare, with a 30-minute workout at 8 o'clock in the morning, and he's using Daniel and Alex from the Body Project YouTube channel. YouTube is full of great fitness stuff. I use one called Fitness Blender. What one do you use? Is that a no?
It's a no.
Is that a no? So Fitbit's confirming that actually we're getting fitter as we go along. Morning to Greg, morning to Trevor, and I don't know why, because you're just sitting over there, but Cassie said morning as well, which is all good. Morning, Cass. Oh, bit of a wave. What kindness news have you got?
What kindness news have I got? Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm going to shuffle the stuff around.
Oh, okay.
Next on the list was the good news stories anyway. You're not disrupting my schedule. Sorry, I'm just like...
You're on it. You're on it.
Keep to it.
Yeah.
As shambolic as we are, and as nice as the shambolicism is.
Is shambolicism a word?
I don't know, but I like it, and it's entertaining.
Use it.
I think the structure will probably help keep us on track and stop us running over.
Yeah.
Because I know people get very bored after like the 45-minute mark.
Did you just call our podcast boring? No. Right, can I just say...
I get bored after the 45-minute mark of anything.
Can I just say as well, thank you. We had a lovely Caribbean takeaway yesterday, didn't we?
Did.
An unofficial question of the podcast is, what's the best restaurant / takeaway food you've had delivered during lockdown? Do you want to share with us a bit of news?
Oh, yes, okay. So, story number 1. My finger was too close to the camera. I'm so sorry for that. When Clapped tourist trade leaves elephants hungry, woman devises win-win solution with local farmers. In Asia, elephants working in the tourist trade have been idled by the COVID-19 worldwide shutdown. It's not cheap to feed elephants, especially when they're not bringing in income for their owners to feed properly. Thankfully, Carol Buckley and her organisation, EAI, Elephant Aid International, have created a win-win-win solution for tourist trade elephants and farmers in Nepal. Nepal? Anyway, I was like, I'm sure I was saying that right when I read it last night, but now I've said it aloud. It's not as... Okay, over the course...
Still getting those comments in the middle of news stories.
Sorry, my brain kind of just goes off. Over the course of the...
And again! Nepal.
Over the course of the last decade, EAI have been striving to improve the treatment of elephants in captivity by working directly with elephant owners, government officials, charities, tourist facilities, and elephant welfare groups. Oh, that's nice. The organisation is also in the midst of launching a new elephant sanctuary in North America, so elephants being released from captivity can finally have a place to retire.
Love it.
Most recently, the group have been working in the Nepali province of Sahara... You know what? Which is known as the gateway to Chitwan National Park, the nation's first national park, famous for its majestic wildlife, including tigers, rhinos, and elephants. Since thousands of tourists visit the park each year, the region maintains a healthy tourist trade, which is probably why there's no tourist trade, because stuff is shut down, and I feel bad for these elephants now.
But there was a win-win-win.
There's a win-win-win.
I'm looking forward to the win-win-win at the end.
Now that there are no tourists amidst the novel coronavirus outbreak, however, the elephant owners were quoted in the Kathmandu Post saying that they have been having difficulty finding food for their elephants, which could have disastrous short and long-term consequences for the animals. Ordinarily, privately owned elephants are prohibited from entering the park, but after Buckley alerted the Nepali government to the predicament, the ban was lifted so the elephants could graze during the day.
Okay.
The elephants are still prohibited from being in the park at night, and since elephants normally spend about 20 hours a day eating, their owners were left with the challenge of finding enough food for them to eat at night.
20 hours a day eating? Is that what elephants do?
Spending 20 hours a day.
That's sorry viewers, she's gone running now. Literally, as I was talking about 20 hours a day eating, my youngest daughter Sophie came into the room and stood on the other side of the camera looking a bit like a clown. I knew that makeup set was a bad idea. I mean, I thought to keep her slightly entertained during lockdown, but no. Did you see that? She's choosing to ignore it, I think. But 20 hours a day eating, that's almost as much as me.
This is almost as much as you spend in 2 days.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of the COVID-19 lockdown, local farmers have had no one to harvest the produce growing in their fields. Rather than being forced to let the food rot, Buckley and her team found farmers who were willing to sell their produce, arranged for workers to harvest the food, and then delivered it to the delighted elephants and their owners.
Love it.
Now that the elephants are fed and the local farmers are generating income, Buckley plans on continuing the initiative for as long as necessary.
Yeah, and it's, I suppose one of the things is about finding those, like, during this challenge, looking at the things that are going to help everybody. Do you know what I mean? Win, win, win.
Win, win, win.
Win, win, win. We like it. And you got another win, win, win story?
No, I do have this thing about the Canadian government buying hotels to house homeless people, though.
Well, that might be a win, win, win.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Canadian government buys hotels to house homeless people and also rehire workers. The British Columbian government has managed to provide housing for more than 200 homeless Canadians while simultaneously...
Homeless comedians, did you say?
Canadians.
I thought they'd opened a home just for comedians.
Yeah, starving artists, you know. While simultaneously bringing economic support to struggling hotels during the COVID-19 crisis. Okay. This week, a provincial legislator purchased the Comfort Inn Hotel in Victoria for $18 is a little bit, for $18.5 million as a means of sheltering homeless people living in the street encamped amidst the pandemic. In addition to the hotel being equipped with 65 rooms for temporary accommodations, the province is also hiring laid-off hotel workers to help manage the facility.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
This is not the first facility the province has purchased to accommodate homeless people. In the city of Prince Rupert, the province purchased the former Raffles Inn Motel in order to convert it into a permanently supportive housing building with up to 48 units, each with private washrooms, showers and mini kitchens. Once complete, the building will have the capacity for a 35-space temporary shelter or an extreme weather response shelter by 2021.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? I think that focus on... because the people... like. Okay, we're in lockdown, but we've got enough resources and a roof over our head and lights and water and food and all that sort of stuff. The people who are suffering the most, and Steve Stewart, who we had on a previous podcast, was talking about this, is the people who suffer the most is the people who can't do that. You know, lockdown actually for some people is a privilege. Do you know what I mean? They just haven't got the facility to do it. And supporting, like government supporting people, and again, a win-win-win story.
Win-win-win.
People are working, government supporting homeless people, and focusing on this challenge sounds amazing to me. Amazing to me.
You ready for one more?
Yeah, just one comment on that. I think a couple of years ago when we did that thing where we went into London to sort of very, on an ad hoc basis to deliver some food to homeless people. It's a weird one because I spend a decent amount of time in London, and unless you really open your eyes, you don't realise how many homeless people there actually are. And I think as a society we need to do more to support that. So people like Steve and the amazing charities out there that support homeless people are brilliant. I wonder whether we do enough as a society to help people who have found themselves in a position where they're homeless. Don't know. What do you think?
I think we could be doing more. We could, but then like we can't really. We as individuals can't really control. We can just make our own effort to try and help.
Yeah, but individuals organised into a collective can have an impact, can't they?
That's true.
So I know as individuals sometimes it feels a bit hopeless because who are you to make positive change? But the reality is that that's how all change happens.
It's true.
You know, if you as one individual can't make positive change, you find other people who believe what you believe and drive that positive change forward. I'll get off my soapbox now and you can carry on with the show.
Thank you. I do have one more story and an end of the show to do. So, okay. Devoted dad surprises graduating daughter with front yard ceremony after hers was cancelled.
Okay.
A devoted dad went above and beyond the call of duty in order to host a proper commencement ceremony for his daughter. After years of working towards her bachelor's degree in public health science, Gabrielle Pierce was devastated when she learned that she would not be able to walk across the stage to receive her diploma like she'd always dreamed of. Although Pierce graduated from the Xavier University in Louisiana in December, the school only hosts one commencement ceremony every year, so Pierce spent months waiting for her chance to walk. When Pierce received an email from the university in mid-March about how their ceremony would be cancelled amidst the COVID-19 shutdowns, she told CNN that she had been crying over the news for 1 week straight. Pierce wasn't the only one heartbroken by the cancellation. Her father could hardly bear to see his daughter so sad. Rather than accept his daughter's dream as forfeit, however, Burnson became determined to host his own commencement ceremony for Pierce at their home in Memphis. Over the course of just 6 weeks, Burnson managed to receive a photographer, stage and podium without his daughter's knowledge.
Oh, where did he hide all the stuff?
I don't know. When the big day finally came, Pierce was shocked to find a full-size stage waiting for her in her front yard. There were 40 people in attendance, all sitting 6 feet apart with masks on, and her father even played pomp and circumstance as she walked up to get her diploma.
Amazing. What is pomp and circumstance?
I don't know.
That sounds brilliant. But I want to listen to pomp and circumstance. I want to get some of that in my
Summer
life.
hit.
Yeah, what's your favourite summer song? I only listen to pomp and circumstance. But what an amazing thing to do for your daughter. I love that. I absolutely love that. Have I let you down by not doing anything for your GCSEs?
Yeah.
You're not worried?
Nah.
Okay, all right, we'll crack on with the show. So, to answer some of the questions of the podcast, let me just open my laptop. We are surrounded by laptops today.
What's that fingerprint recognition?
Fingerprint recognition on my new laptop.
We have literally got 4 screens in front of us, 3 laptops.
So let's talk about summertime songs. John Cook says the greatest summertime song to be played in the summertime and only in the summertime is "Summertime" by Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Caroline Thompson said "Boys of Summer" by Don Henley. Jade Foster Jarrett said "I second Boys of Summer" by Don Henley, and Heidi agreed. Alan Cass said "We're all going on a summer holiday."
I don't know the rest of the words. They say got both of them at once, but I don't really know.
Hazel Grace has gone 80s and gone, "So true, funny how it seems." Do you know that song?
No.
You wouldn't know from that. Louise McNamee said "Lovely Day" by Bill Withers. Oh, love that song. That's an amazing song. And Cassie Dames, friend of the show, sitting over there, has said "Summertime" by Ella Fitzgerald. I prefer the Nina Simone version, but that song is amazing. And then on Twitter,
there was one response.
Mark Smith has said has to be the Gershwin song of the same name, "Summertime," and Mark's gone for the Ella Fitzgerald version as well. And that's it. That's all the answers we got on best summertime song. So let's end the show. Bit shorter than normal today, but let's end the show with a joke.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Why do bees have sticky hair?
Don't know.
Because they use honeycombs. You just laugh until it
I'm not meant to laugh. I'm not meant to laugh at the end. Have a lovely Sunday.
Have a lovely summer.
Have a lovely summer. And we'll see you on Wednesday for the next episode of the Kindness Project Live. See you then. Bye.
Bye.